Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place a calling. WB, be yourself, see yourself. People believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel about it, the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will feel happen like I got blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel about it, the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation.
Thursday, this is Thursday, the 25th of April, Thursday morning, WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I am leading off with the preliminaries here as we welcome everybody to the house. I'm Mose, in case you don't know this face or voice, you are, of course, listening to Creme Radio, watching XTV, and it's WUB time, Belize. Right now, we're going to serve up the preliminaries. We hope that as you have gotten up this morning, that you have great health, energy levels, you feel like you're ready for 12 rounds. And of course, we hope your vibes remain positive, your energies, and of course, your morning space is ready and available for you to enjoy quality time with us. And definitely, we get to hear from you. That's our preference. We got your morning news, of course. We've got your general weather forecast. You know how we line it up. This morning, from the National Meteorological Service, we've got forecaster Crystal Gonzalez to start off everything. Welcome to WUB.
Mainly fair and warm conditions prevail. The 24-hour forecast. Skies will be mostly sunny today and then clear to partly cloudy tonight. Showers, if any, will be isolated. High temperatures for today will reach around 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 96 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 84 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. Low temperatures for tonight will reach around 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 70 degrees Fahrenheit over inland areas, and 67 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east at 5 to 15 knots, and sea conditions will be choppy. High tides occur at 10:12 this morning and then at 11:48 tonight. Low tides at 5:34 this evening and then at 4:40 tomorrow morning. The moon will set at 6:26 this morning and rise at 7:55 tonight. Sunset is at 6:11 this evening and sunrise at 5:29 tomorrow morning. The extended forecast for Friday and Friday night is for mainly fair conditions to continue with only isolated showers developing. The fire forecast. As fair and warm conditions are expected to continue, the risk for forest and brush fires will remain moderate to high. And the sargassum update. Sargassum continues to increase over the area, and the chances of more sargassum mats drifting onto beaches across the country remains high. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, Current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
All right, we now have your morning news update. The six-member General Legal Council has found attorney Urson O.J. Ellington guilty of grave professional misconduct in the representation of one of his clients, Pastor Dozie Ilifani Chineke. The decision was handed down on April 19, 2024, and he has been summoned to reappear on May 24, 2024, to indicate why sanctions should not be imposed on him as per the Legal Profession Act. Those sanctions can include the removal of his name from the roll of attorneys registered in Belize, his removal from practice on conditions determined by the council, a fine, a reprimand, or a restitution payment. The hearing took place on February 19, 2024. Dozie represented himself while Ellington was accompanied by his father, Senior Counsel Hubert Ellington. They all stem from Pastor Dozie's application to the Social Security Board to be paid widow's pension after his wife's death in December 2021. The application was denied as the law only provided for a woman to receive such grants. He deemed this discriminatory. Ellington subsequently filed a claim on May 4, 2023. He proposed an out-of-court settlement of $60,000 for the survivor's grant and vindictory damages and $22,000 in costs. However, when SSB made a counteroffer for a total of $45,000, Ellington, via his paralegal, advised Dozie not to accept it, so the matter went to court. Pastor Dozie did not attend a case management session, and thereafter the attorneys for the two parties continued settlement negotiations in Pastor Dozie's absence. They settled at a total of $46,588 in October 2023, and Ellington subsequently received the sum from SSB. He was to turn over the required portion to Pastor Dozie, but did not do so, saying Pastor Dozie did not provide him with a bank account. In December that year, Pastor Dozie wrote Ellington demanding all the funds, but nothing was ever paid to him. However, he confirmed he did not provide Ellington with his banking details. While Ellington claims he made Pastor Dozie verbally aware of the terms of settlement and obtained his oral consent, Dozie said he only knew discussions were ongoing but never approved the consent order. After reviewing all the evidence before it, the GLC found Dozie to be telling the truth and that Ellington never obtained Dozie's written authorization as is standard practice. In related news, the General Legal Counsel is to forward to the police a document provided by Ellington which the GLC believes to be fabricated. It is a second engagement letter with a way higher contingency fee for his services than what Dozie admitted to have signed. Though requested twice to produce original copies of the two letters with the wet ink signatures, Ellington only provided scanned copies. There were other matters of concern regarding the practice at Ellington's law firm that the council frowned upon, including having a paralegal explain legal issues to clients. The council found that these actions constituted dereliction of professional duty and professional negligence. Additionally, the council also had to call to Ellington's attention his unnecessary belligerence and insulting stance towards Pastor Dozie when he was cross-examining him at the hearing. As a result of this case, the law is being changed for survivors' benefit to apply to both men and women. The Central Bank of Belize has issued a statement with assuring the public that Belize's financial system continues to be supported by a stringent regulatory framework and diligent oversight measures that safeguard the interests of depositors. While the statement makes no specific reference to any development in particular, we note that it comes in the wake of accusations by State Bank Enterprise Limited against Atlantic Bank Limited, and that companies call for the central bank as regulator to investigate activities of the financial institution. Atlantic Bank is the organizer of a syndicated loan for State Bank's Port Coral project, which has been placed under receivership by Atlantic Bank. As we have been reporting, an acrimonious legal battle is ensuing over the receivership. The central bank says that as the regulatory authority, it operates with the highest standards of integrity and transparency, as evidenced by the continuous publication of information on the health of financial institutions licensed by the central bank. The central bank is cautioning the public to be discerning in consuming information and the media to be prudent and responsible in disseminating information. In related news, Atlantic Bank also put out a statement on Tuesday about its lawsuit for fraud and breach of trust against State Bank and its principal, Michael Finston. The bank made reference to State Bank's letter to the central bank governor after the filing of the Atlantic Bank lawsuit. Atlantic Bank categorically denies State Bank's allegations and says it is evaluating a claim for libel as it deems the statements to be defamatory. It also points to advertising campaign which it says is aimed at eroding public confidence in the bank and the financial system in general. In this regard, the bank affirms that its fundamentals are strong and states underpinning the bank's stability and strength is the paid-up capital, which is the largest within the banking system. The bank remains the second largest financial institution in Belize with the largest lending portfolio, funded by the second largest deposit base. Additionally, the bank is buttressed by a US $21 billion financial group with over 50 years of service in Belize and more than 110 years of service in the region. Notably, in the trove of documents accompanying the lawsuit, there is an affidavit from the managing director of Atlantic Bank, Gregory Mejia. He states that in August 2018, Feinstein asked the bank to extend the bridge financing to SBEL by $20 million. The original amount was over $60 million. According to Mejia, Feinstein shared that more space was needed for the project, and so the island would be extended by 24 acres by dredging and reclaiming seabed. The bank then signed a facility letter on September 20th, 2018 for that debenture, which means a debt instrument that is unsecured by collateral relying solely on credit worthiness. While Feinstein signed the debenture on SBEL's behalf, it was never dated and was kept by Atlantic Bank's attorney. Mejia explains this occurred because the bank was still waiting for the titles related to the original island, which was still in Feinstein's name, and also because Feinstein did not want to pay stamp duty, insisting that the debenture fell under SBEL's fiscal incentive exemptions. Mejia goes on to state that in October 2019, the bank extended another $8.1 million facility to SBEL, which he says was to include the works relating to the extension of the island. Mejia affirms in his affidavit that Feinstein represented to the bank that the extension would be the property of SBEL. Feinstein then went ahead and secured title for the extension in his name. Prime Minister John Briceño is disappointed at the turn of events regarding the State Bank receivership, but at this point, he is confident that the relevant parties are capable of handling the issue.
It's unfortunate, but let me say at this point that I will not comment. Quite likely that's ending up in court. And if at any time the government believes that it needs to step in for the interests of the country, we'll consider, but we're not there yet. I am confident that the governor of the central bank, along with his officials, are doing a good job and that they're going to be managing this well.
Do you suspect that there will be any risk to the banking system?
I don't expect that.
Social workers have been complaining that a promised salary adjustment, which was to take effect last year, is delayed. We understand that the delay has been for over 6 months now. Honorable Dolores Balderramos Garcia, Minister of Human Development, was asked about the situation yesterday. She agreed that it has taken a while and promised that the adjustment should be made in another 2 months.
I have to agree that it has taken some time to be rolled out. I think Cabinet approved the pay scale raise, not just a raise of pay for individuals, but the pay scale raise, because social workers of the Ministry of Human Development had not received the pay scale increase since something like 2002. So I am so happy to be once again the Minister of Human Development. I was back in 98 to 2003, and we had not had a pay scale increase since then. So I was very humbled and proud that we put in place that pay scale raise. Now, the Ministry of the Public Service, they have to do their adjustments of those pay scales. Sometimes it takes longer than we expect, but I know that it's coming on stream shortly. So I would say within another 2 months, we should see the full adjustment so that social workers can be granted the level of pay that other people get.
And that ends the WUB's morning news update. We will take ourselves a small break, and when we come back on the other side, you know we are in the business of conversation, and that's when we'll open up our phone line for you to get in. Right now, we take a break, sit back, relax, stay linked, stay in tune, whether it's on our radio, on television, online, Facebook, YouTube. Please, WUB is about to be served, warm and delicious, right up until 9. We'll be back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news, informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
Get ready to cultivate connectivity with Smart.
Skip the trip to the bank and perform cash withdrawals at your neighborhood store with Atla Express. Withdrawals are now free, and customers can withdraw up to $300 daily. All you need is your Atlantic Bank Visa debit card along with an ID. Atla Express is easy, convenient, secure, and near you. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May. Advertisers who take a package on Creme Radio and XTV in the months of April and May will enter our advertiser raffle and the chance to win another fabulous weekend getaway, which includes accommodations for two nights at Sereme Villas. Sereme Villas, making your home away from home in beautiful Kikoker at 445 Alameda Drive. Family friendly, perfectly tucked away with 24-hour service, featuring 7 villas, outdoor swimming pool, garden, restaurant and bar, and sun terrace. Call Sereme Villas at 501-610-6147. Winner of the Creme Advertiser Special also gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided by M's Hideaway Restaurant for the 2 days. M's Hideaway also does delivery in Kikoker. Transportation to Kikoker for this wonderful getaway provided by San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi. This prize package of over $1,500 can be yours if you advertise now. Contact our relationship officers at 280-4469. It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May.
Skip the trip to the bank and perform cash withdrawals at your neighborhood store.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on this Thursday morning, the 25th of April, 2024. And it's time for the Thursday morning Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. And we now open up our phone line for you to activate yourself. Get active early. And let's hear from you on this Thursday morning. We've got our telephone number open for you at 280-5848. Again, 280-5848, that's the line for you to get into the conversation. And as you can see, if you're watching XTV, that I have no accompanying vocalists, just me one right now. And that means that I depend even more on your participation. We want to get you on board and hear what you've got to say on this Thursday morning. There's a lot to talk about. 8 o'clock we've got guests, so that's lined up. First half of the show is for a wide open conversation. And that's the way we love it. And I'm going to start off by making an extraordinary, recognizing an extraordinary moment. I just got the information shared with me during the break actually, that our young outstanding basketballer Douglas Langford, who's been out in high school in California playing ball, has received a number of but one that is definitely outstanding is that he's actually gotten an offer from Yale University. He's been offered a Division I scholarship from Yale University. And that is just an outstanding situation in all aspects. One, that he has demonstrated the physical ability to be a homegrown, home-developed. I got to give shout, of course, to his family, give shout to everybody that's been involved. Got to reach out to Pull Lightburn, the legend himself, who was instrumental with his direct. I think a lot of that, we've demonstrated that already, that during the COVID, there was a lot of work being done. Pull Lightburn, big up yourself. And you've been a preacher to the gospel that we cannot imagine what a little bit of work with a youngster can materialize into insofar as just straight up financial value. And to have one of our superstar basketball players, he's actually like the rock that the future of Belize basketball is going to be built around, being offered a scholarship that is not just about playing basketball, but that he is academically qualified to go to one of the most prestigious universities in the United States of America, part of the Ivy League circle of universities at Yale, is highly regarded. It's just a proud moment, of course, for his family, for him, for basketball, but for the nation of Belize. And it should also serve as a great inspiration to us to understand that it's not just about trying to win a basketball game. It's not just about whether we defeated El Salvador or we defeated a Caribbean country. It's not about whether or not we ever get the gold medal in basketball in the Olympics. That's a very unlikely scenario. I mean, we're a small population, and basketball is dominated by very tall players. And you have to have a large population to be able to create a foundation of tall players that will be able to become so skilled that they will dominate the planet. It's not the likely scenario. Not to say we should not strive to be our best. We should always want to be our best. But by striving to do our best, we are going to create winning moments for our youths. And that is priceless. And so it might not have been to Yale, but a number of our youths have already known what it is to go and get an education based on their athletic ability. This demonstrates that you can have both, and that you can actually develop our youths and give them something to look forward to. And there was a lot that went into that to get him to get there. And, I reached out to Polo and give him respect. And it would be fantastic if Polo could call in, if he's tuned in. But I just wanted to say big respect to the family, big respect to Dougie. And it's a proud moment for all of us. And, we have a lot of bad stuff that we talk about regularly, especially when we are talking about our young people or young men. Very often we have to start a show talking about the unfortunate, tragic loss of one of our young men. That's very often how we begin the conversation here within the WUB. So it is definitely a very, very delightful opportunity to start off the show with that kind of news. And it's to serve not just to kind of like, well, it's like this singular achievement and it belongs to just Dougie and respect is due, but as a kind of also something for other youths who are gifted. It's a wasteful country when it comes to gifts. Very wasteful. We squander so many gifts because we are not very good at the conversion of gifts. Convert the conversion of gifts into skills and into achievement takes time, takes commitment, takes resources, takes interest and commitment. And very often our youths might be born with various gifts across the spectrum. Doesn't have to be athletic ability, but they're never maximized, they're never optimized, they're never cultivated in such a way that they can achieve the highest heights based on those gifts that they have. And so we hope that this moment serves to show you a kind of a roadmap, a kind of a duty-based roadmap when it comes to the young gifted that are being born all over all the time, right? In fact, I would argue that if a child comes to planet Earth, regardless of background, parents, color, skin, whatever, they have gifts, they're blessed, but ultimately their chances are suppressed because of conditions that are beyond their control. And so I just want to once again reiterate, if you've just joined the show, that the word that has reached this desk is that our young basketball star Douglas Langsford, besides receiving various scholarships to play basketball at college, because he's presently in high school, one of the offers that he has received and he has put on his Facebook page is from Yale University. And if you're unfamiliar, that's one of the most prestigious universities in the United States of America, and would be considered one of the top universities in the world. And so we are very happy to hear that. And besides the fact that, we're glad that he's going to be a centerpiece of Belize basketball for a number of years once he remains healthy, of course. We are very proud that he has demonstrated that he has not only the physical body, but that he's also developing his mind and expanding his knowledge and his academic road ahead. If he does take that particular offer, of course, I'm not here saying that that's the offer he's going to take. Apparently, at this point in time, you're the college, you could pick and choose. And we are very happy to hear that. It's 4 minutes after 7 o'clock, and this is the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for Thursday. And again, let me just repeat that the telephone number is 280-5848. And you can call in and tell me how happy you are to hear about Douglas Langsford's achievement, or any other matter that you deem necessary to start this Thursday on. And before I jump into tougher meat, before I start to chew on tougher meat this morning, let me just remind you that coming up this weekend on Creme Radio and XTV, we've got our coverage coming from the showgrounds in Belmopan, of course, and our our coverage of both days, Saturday and Sunday, 10 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. That's the span of it. And we are going to do our best to capture the images, the sound, the vibes, the energy of 2024 Agric. And if you're unable to make it, tune in. Also, YouTube, Facebook, you got connected. We want to invite you to come out to our booth as well, to check out our booth. We're going to have an outreach desk where you can learn how to download our apps. We can show you how to make sure that you are on our social media platforms, get connected. It's a free way for you to support what we are doing. And we do need your support. We need all the support we can get. It is not the easy road that we travel. So every little bit of support that you can give towards maintaining and protecting the integrity of this conversation space and the other conversation spaces that we put forward here and content that we put forward on this platform, we are definitely appreciative. We thank you very much. And in some instances, it's not even $1 or a cent. It's absolutely without a single cent. You can lift us up just by becoming a subscriber on YouTube, XTV Belize, or you can check our Facebook pages, and you can also check us on Instagram. You can check us on TikTok, Creme Radio as well, and you can also download our apps, which is an important thing for you to do once you have a smartphone. And again, you come out to a booth at Agric, we're going to be supporting that. We want to make sure that we get more and more people getting acquainted with how they can link the many different ways that you can hear and watch. And we need you to support that endeavor, because that's how you give us the kind of energy base that can, push us up and have people recognize the fact that we have your support. So it's the money-free thing, not saying that you don't have to figure out how you have to really support financially as well. So, we have spoken about that. But this is one way that you can do it without even going into your pockets. All right? So we want to encourage you to do that. If you've not got no apps as yet, please go to either the Apple Store or Google Play and download it to your phone. If you've not followed us yet on Facebook or on Instagram, please XTV BZ on Instagram, XTV Belize on Facebook, XTV Belize on YouTube. Please do so before the morning is out. In fact, do it right now. No wait. Why wait? Okay. So that's a bit of home cooking there for WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We can now jump into, I guess, the tougher meat of the morning. Remember, coming at 8 o'clock, we do have guests coming into the house on this Thursday morning. Now, if I had known yesterday morning that, well, at least if I had known prior to coming on air that pieces of the WB had become a part of a smear campaign, I don't know who is paying for it. That's nothing that I know. There are suspicions about who's doing it. That's not been declared. But on Tuesday morning on this show, we spoke a bit about what was unfolding insofar as the huge legal conflict surrounding the Stake Bank project, and that missiles started flying last week, and the back and forth has basically been unleashed. And we spoke about it. We spoke about what the implications were to have that type of information, that type of allegation being put out there, and to have things reach this point. And we essentially were focused on primarily, the origins of how you reach a point like this, and that this is very undesirable, and that the government of 2024 has a responsibility to be proactive, not just to say, well, it's not my business, when this is really your business. And in fact, in my opinion, this situation is the result of failed leadership over successive administrations. because the issue of solving the matter of a deep water port for the deeper class vessels that the cruise lines want to bring, which is an issue because cruise tourism has become an important part of the everyday survival, economic survival, whether you're a fan of it or not. A great number of people depend on it. That's how they eat, that's how they survive. And so it is one of those things that has to be solved by very effective leadership. And the fact that we have a scenario where things have imploded to this point is an indictment. You can't get away from it. And so we spoke about this and lamented the fact that now we have all this morass coming on to the financial sector, the commercial, one of the prominent largest banks in our country. We have large investors, and now we have all the lawyers rushing in, and it's going to be one huge showdown. And this is not a good situation, and we expressed our view very strongly that the government cannot have a spectator view, cannot be Pontius Pilate about this. So ultimately, yesterday morning when I got on the air, I was not aware that certain portions of what we were saying were kind of like taken out and made into some kind of ad campaign, which, this is what is done from time to time. It's not the first time it's been done, and even though, permission is not sought, it's not the kind of thing that you get up and you try to say you're going to fight legally, you can't do this, that's all, whatever. I don't even know what the legal situation is, when it comes to doing that, but it's done. And it's been a standard practice, and got no time to deal with that, if you want to do that. But it's important for somebody who might not have been listening to that program, who might not have heard that particular show. And we understand people, even if you are a WUBer, you do venture off, and there's no, there's no, people are looking and listening to different things all the time. And you might not have heard that particular program, and when you see an ad, you say, okay, what did WB people may say? Were they declaring that a bank is done, and you might be misled? And so because of that, there is a need. It would have been a need yesterday morning to say, hey, understand something, that while this is not a desirable topic, this is not something that you would say, this is not an easy topic for us to engage in. It's a necessary topic for us to engage in. And it requires precision, and it requires us to be very clear, and it requires us to come in a way that represents a level of professionalism as somebody that is in this space to give opinions. And so we take that very seriously, because the reason why the spoken word is so critical is because when you're talking about the financial climate, when you're talking about money matters, optics, confidence, weigh in seriously. So you can't speak to that, and when you are trying to move people's confidence and move the needle of confidence in one direction or the other, based on whatever agenda you have to understand what are the implications when that happens. So this is not some little small topic, but it's not a topic that you can run away from, because it's a heavy, heavy matter. And so we felt it duty to engage in it and not to pretend that this was not some kind of bombshell level of hostility that had now ensued, that had been triggered, and now we have this is where we end up. And so we were expressing those views, and it's important for you to know clearly where we were coming from. We find it, we know that it's not by accident that a letter that was sent from an attorney to the central bank governor, that became something that was accessible publicly. That's strategic. That's how it works now. You without even going to court, you can throw blows and you can hurt your opponent. You don't even have to reach court days yet. These letters are weapons. They're strategic weapons, and so they get out. But you can't pretend they're not there, because it has been served to an official entity. This is not something that somebody wrote on Facebook. This is not something that, somebody just jump up and holler this or holler that. No, this was an actual letter going to the regulatory bodies, leadership, to say these are the things, listing down all these things. You can't pretend they did not exist. And you speak on them and the fact that this is unpleasant stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that can have ripple effects. And so responsible leadership cannot just say, well, this is our investor, this is our commercial bank. No, that's not the way it works. And say, okay, no, everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right is a nice song, but it's not a nice approach. You have to proactively, especially when you're dealing with serious things that have serious implications, you have to understand that this is what leadership is about. Tough situations, big problems, especially when it's not as if though this big problem is not a situation where you've just completely been outside of it. Ultimately, the chaos in solving the deep water berth for the bigger class cruise ships, the fact that in 2024 it does not exist, is a failure of leadership to act decisively, to act impartially, to act in a way that is in the interest. So this is we've had, I don't know how many years we've had to really look at this and to solve it. But we have gone about it the way we go about anything where party politics is the criteria that is of the highest priority. And so we play that ism and schism game with it, and we play, how much interest I want to have in that, or how much interest you want to have in that, and who that the person will end up come up with the big solution, and who will be the person who will run it, and we have to watch that, and we have to, instead of understanding that the problem is to be solved because so many people's livelihood depend on it being solved. That's the situation we have created. Again, not saying whether you're a fan of it or not, that's the reality. The reality is that when that cruise ship comes, there's a number of people who eat. And you have to understand that while we don't like some of the balance in that industry, we don't like the balance in the distribution of it, the fact is still some people get some of the crumbs and they manage to survive and deal with their realities on a daily basis. So you have to figure out how you're going to find some way forward and deal with it. So if you are unable to act honestly and clearly and decisively, despite knowing that this problem exists, and you decide, you know what, make we just say, make we just put Nealina and Kokosaka and see who come out first. It's like a small country cannot afford to act in that kind of nonchalant and that kind of squandering way when it comes to effectively finding important solutions, and I think that has been our standard. So when we speak on this matter and people take some bites and take it out and put it in an ad and it sounds the way it sounds, it's important for you to understand what we were talking about and why we feel obligated to talk about it. And essentially what our take-home message is, that there is too much at risk here for this to be left to see how low they can go. This is not a dance contest to see how low people could go. This is serious business. It's a heavy implications financially, and there has to be an understanding that this matter has to be prevented from just becoming complete, because there are different forces operating behind the scenes. There are different forces that have an interest in certain outcomes to see, well, they might want to see this bank for their own interest. They would want to see the Atlantic Bank come under heavy scrutiny and even cave in because it serves the interests of other forces. So there are multiple things happening behind the scenes. So we feel duty bound to come and say, this is not a matter for the government of Belize to just be in spectator mode, because the implications are very, very serious. That's what we were talking about on Tuesday for those who might not have been in tune to that conversation. And it's very important for us to clear that. The telephone number is 280-5848. That's the direct line that you can participate in the conversation. Just a quick reminder that we don't like doing this kind of sermon approach. We like reasoning, okay? But if you are not there, then ultimately we have to do the sermon. We have a call. Krem, good morning, WUB. Krem, good morning. All right, we missed that call. Again, the number is 280-5848. I might have pressed the wrong, because I don't really run the phone anymore. Sister Katie really run the phone, but she's not in the house this morning. So I might have inadvertently cut off that call. Please, let me see, I hope I don't mess this up. Good morning, WB.
Yes, nice to Mose, please.
You're live on the air. This is Mose, all right, brother? You're live.
Greetings, my brother.
Greetings.
Mose?
Yeah, where it go on, Pulu?
Well, right there, I'm calling you because it was hot online that Douglas Langford, the 17-year-old Belizean who was the star for the Belize national team and the 17 national team and the tournament's most efficient player, was granted a scholarship yesterday by the prestigious Ivy League University, Yale. He has had over 2,000 scholarship offers before, over a dozen Division One. A Division One scholarship, board and room, and tuition normally runs at least $600,000. That is $1.2 million for 4 years now. So this guy is worth a lot of money, and he don't even have any money in his pocket. But on another note, so Yale should even cost more than 1.2 million.
Of course.
Because Yale is Yale. And
top class.
Top class, exactly. And what Belizean don't realize, this is the farthest any Belizean has gone in basketball officially, if you consider our levels, because already at the age of 17, he has gotten over 2,000 scholarship offers, over a dozen Division one from here. It has never happened before to any basketball player in the history of the country. We made it to the, we had just had a tournament with our first under 17 team that made it to the Central Basket, which is the level above within Central America or CARICOM, because what they do, they take the top three from in particular division and you go to the Central Basket, which if you qualify as the top three in there, whether you win a gold, silver, or bronze, then you move on to the right now the tournament of the Americas, which we are supposed to be going to in the first week of June. Douglas just won the award for the most efficient player. The most efficient player in the Central Basket. That is huge. And you don't even realize it. And Doug is a little boy who was running around the streets of Tangriga about 4 years ago. I know he's on top of the hill in Southern California, heading up even higher.
And again, Polo, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I just reminded our listeners and viewers that you know the work you put in, and I'm not saying that you are the only person responsible for where Doug is right now. Obviously,
no, man. A lot of people, especially his parents.
Yes. You know, so we have to give enough respect.
Yeah, his parents, his brother, was there at 90% of practices. They brought him to practice and they took him home. There was just a few times when he came by himself or with the boys.
Yeah.
And you know, that's very important.
But you know, I reminded those listening and watching that you've been preaching this gospel for years. That it's not only a matter of whether we one day get to go to the Olympics in basketball, but it's the fact that we can make our young people reach their maximum potential, not just athletically, but also academically and also professionally, because the number of doors that are opened up because of what you were able to achieve on the court. I mean, one of our great basketballers, I feel that when we think about outstanding achievements, you have to think about somebody like, say, Nigel McGill, right? Your good friend.
Yes, he was the first Belizean to, born Belizean. He is the only person that you could probably have an argument that might have achieved as much or maybe more than Doug. And that is because in high school, he was McDonald's top 25 All-American, the best shooting guard, best big guard in the West. While Michael Jordan was the best big guard in the East. He actually played with and against Michael Jordan. Like people don't know that now, but Nigel McGill was a big thing. Like as you mentioned, that this might be the greatest moment for a Belizean-born basketball player. I would argue that it's still Nigel, because he was, like you mentioned, top 25. He was highly recruited. And I can recall, because of my old man following UCLA at the time, and we would try to. Still play that night to watch the UCLA games on TV here in Belize.
Yeah. So and UCLA has such a rich tradition in basketball. Of course, all the years of John Wooden's success there, and the likes of.
John Wooden won 11. John Wooden won 11 championships.
Yeah, and so.
I want just with what was called the UCLA Shuffle, which today is known as the Pro Shuffle, and he has 9 options, and every player on my team, you have to learn that. And everybody say when they show the radio, everybody say when they go out there, as the coaches they enter, then the only one who go from the Pro Shuffle as a beginner. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was making the point though that even though I think Nigel was drafted in the NBA. That's my recollection.
Yes, let me tell you his draft story. Nigel was drafted by the New Jersey Nets.
Yes.
Okay. During the time when they had Ray Richardson and Ray Williams, and a 6'7" white guy by the name of Pace Mannion, who was also a rookie and drafted by the Nets, stepped on his foot, stepped on his instep, and messed his foot up. He was out. He was incapacitated for over a year. He was out of action, and this guy ended up getting his spot. He was already on the team. He was playing preseason. He was averaging like 19 points a game in the preseason. And while he was rehabilitating, he took some acting classes in California, and that is where his career diverted.
Yeah.
And that's why today he's a producer, director, commissioner of movies.
But I'm sure just having created that network of being a UCLA alumni.
Of course, that's big.
Has kind of been a major part of the road that he has traveled.
But UCLA alumni bigger than UPR and UCW. And you know that's big.
Absolutely.
You know, a big politician.
Yeah, so absolutely the point we are making when we reference his story is that it's not just about what happens on the basketball court, about whether or not you end up, wherever you end up. It's about to say, listen, when our children grow up and we maximize what they're gifted in, there's so many doors that are open and so many opportunities that they have on and off the court or on and off the stage, if that's where they're going to be. So again, we're very happy to hear it. It really warms the spirit, and congratulations obviously to the family, and respect to you for the work that you did in personally tutoring.
And a couple coaches down in Nigeria.
All right, so you have to...
Because the first time I thought of West Langford was at a high school, a primary school. I was at primary school championship game scouting, and he was like 12 years old then, wearing a size 12. Right now he's 17 and wearing a size 17.
All righty. We'll give...
He's going to go to 17, because right now he what, 6'10", 240. I take a picture of him when he first gone and when he gone the last time after the tips torn up, look up here, he face.
All right. Well, we thank you for calling, man. And you know the thing about it is that, well, he's going to be I guess one of the main centerpieces of our basketball.
Not one of the main centerpieces. For the next decade and a half, he's going to be the best big man, arguably the best big man in Central America and the Caribbean. Even if he's not in the NBA, who is not in the NBA? Because if any better than him, they will have to get in the NBA.
All right.
Right now, I want to add this more. That team, that tournament we're supposed to go playing, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to read out the world ranking, because the three teams from Central America, two teams from the Caribbean, only Belize from Central America, North America, Canada, and the other three from South America. So according to FIBA World Ranking for the boys, which is about under 18, America is number 1 in the world and in this zone. Canada is number 9 in the world and number 2 in our zone. Brazil is number 11 in the world, number 3 in our zone. Puerto Rico is number 15 in the world, number 4 in our zone. And Puerto Rico came in first in this tournament, basically beat with bad, and he ended up 4th. They are always going up then. Argentina, number 16 and 5 in the world. Dominican Republic, number 19 and 6 in the world. They beat us too. Mexico, number 33, number 7 in the world. We beat Mexico, so that was a big upset. And it's going to take us, we have to climb a few more hurdles to pass Mexico, because not just beating them once, because they have their start accomplishment. And then there's Chile, which is number 52, 8 in our zone. Ecuador, number 57, 9 in our zone. Uruguay, number 63, 10 in our zone. Panama, number 65, 11 in our zone. We also beat Panama. As it is right now, we are, but 2024, 25, we are the best U18 boys team in Central America, even with these rankings. On the court. That's right now on the court, we could beat Mexico and Panama. We just did it. All right? The only thing is, most of the team had to work out already. Right? So believe we need to start. It's kind of awkward because of the dynamics of our players, that the majority of them are in the States going to school.
Yeah.
All right, so, but this is where we are.
Give thanks, brother.
Respect.
Yeah, man. We go now to Tucson Scam sponsored by 4 Point Security, and we'll take ourselves our first break of the morning. This is Thursday, WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
You're watching in WB on XTV, and this week, the National Agriculture and Trade Show. So I want to find out the people in Tucson who are going to Agric this weekend, and when they're going to sit at Agric. Let's go. So, I hear Tucson's brother, you going to Agric or not this year?
Yeah, I'm going to pass shoe, I hear Saturday DJ Bale there.
Bale who?
DJ Pons.
Who they people in?
There's somebody for him.
So you don't going for the rodeo, you don't going for the dog show,
Friday, I'm going to come and pick the name. Free rides Friday.
All right.
Then Saturday, my time for go have the fun.
Oh, that your Tucson?
Yeah.
Tell me, brother, what are your 2 cents for Agric? What you not going to Agric or watch?
Mine Agric don't know for me right now. I can't handle Agric right now. I have too much heat right now, but for people who are going to see it, enjoy the view. It's all different, our different thing, our different scenery. See the village people and enjoy.
That your 2 cents?
You better believe that.
But the first time I go in there, try to see what's up, what's up.
You don't believe that? You don't believe that?
Of course, all the way. Born and grow, yeah.
And first time you going to Agric?
The first time in my 72 years.
And what you want to see?
I want to see everything. Everything and the cheapest thing.
What if it's hot?
If it's hot?
If they
But
get
we don't worry about that. I born in the heat.
That your 2 cents?
Yes, I not born in the cold. I born in the heat. So that day I go in.
I hear you.
With me treasures.
I hear you.
All right.
But I can't go to Agric this weekend. I got big game Sunday. Now when I go to Agric, I normally go for make my son ride the Lee horse, check out the Lee road, check out the Lee food stand there for support for the local Belizean. You know, see all the animals there and thing, and you know the thing we could say we could buy.
That your 2 cents?
Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I don't trust nobody.
Oh, so you don't go to Agric?
I don't go.
So you never been to Agric before?
I don't go out again. I take it different.
All right. Good. That your 2 cents?
For the morning.
Oh, you been the girl. You been
the girl. No more not there.
Oh.
No more not there for right now.
And that your 2 cents?
Yes, I respect.
All right. Miss, you going to Agric?
Yeah.
Where you going to Agric to see? Where you looking to see when you go to Agric?
Well, just the excitement.
That your 2 cents?
Yeah.
All right.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
Your personal online banking experience is about to get even better. Introducing the new Personal Atlantic Online. Reimagine and redesign. But that's not all. Something great is coming your way. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
The International Agriculture and Trade Show is coming. April 26th, 27th, and 28th are the big days for this year's show. April 26th is the official opening ceremonies when everything starts with a bang. April 27 and 28 are the big days when all the fun and excitement starts and includes something for every single Belizean. Plant and animal exhibits and shows, food from every corner of Belize, presentation of Farmers of the Year, representation from local and international companies and organizations linked to Belizean agriculture, local artists, the rodeo, mechanical rides, dog show, bartending competition, horse racing, and this year's a special event, the raffling of a Ford Ranger pickup truck. Check out the Ministry of Agriculture website and social media pages for updates and official information. Let's make it to the 2024 Agric Show on April 26th, 27th, and 28th.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
And today we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's get after it.
It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May. Advertisers who take a package on Creme Radio and XTV in the months of April and May will enter our Advertiser Raffle and the chance to win another fabulous weekend getaway, which includes accommodations for two nights at Sereme Villas, making your home away from home in beautiful Kikoker at 445 Alameda Drive. Family friendly, perfectly tucked away with 24-hour service, featuring 7 villas, outdoor swimming pool, garden, restaurant and bar, and sun terrace. Call Sereme Villas at 501-610-6147. Winner of the Creme Advertiser Special also gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided by M's Hideaway Restaurant for the 2 days. M's Hideaway also does delivery in Kikoker. Transportation to Kikoker for this wonderful getaway provided by San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi. This prize package of over $1,500 can be yours if you advertise now. Contact our relationship officers at 280-4469. It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May. It's the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2024. Friday, April 26th, Saturday, April 27th, and Sunday, April 28th. Live coverage on Creme Radio and XTV. Committee of the National Agriculture and Trade Show, under the direction of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, brings you NATS 2024. This year's trade show will be held under the theme Integrating Sustainable Food Systems, Mitigating Climate Change, Strengthening Agriculture Resilience. Get live coverage on Saturday, April 27th and Sunday, April 28th, starting at 10 a.m. on Creme Radio and XTV. Our live crew will bring the sights and sounds of the National Agriculture and Trade Show live from Belmopan. Check the XTV booth and pre-order your XTV merch. Simulcast coverage on XTV Belize, Facebook and YouTube pages. Creme Radio and XTV app, and XTV. It's all happening at the National Agriculture and Trade Show. Don't miss it.
Amandala is now online. Go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde solo act this morning for Thursday, 25th April 2024. Solo act behind the desk, but not a solo act because we have a phone line access where we encourage and really depend, especially today, on your participation. And so we invite you to utilize it. It's 280-5848. That's the direct line for you to participate in the conversation here this morning, as we remind you that time for wide open conversation is up until the next break, because when we come back from that break, we're going to have guests, we're scheduled to have guests in studios here this Thursday morning. We are not without, Brother Nuri was unable to make it in. Also on Thursdays, we're supposed to have full testosterone Thursday, but no David this morning, and Sister Katie is off today. She'll be back tomorrow morning. Reminding you folks that if you're heading out to Belmopan this weekend, well, let's just remind you to do so safely. Behave yourself properly, and everybody get back home safely. Agui is a great place to go. There's so many things to do. One of those things, of course, is come check out our booth, XTV Creme Radio. It's going to be out there doing our stuff live both days from 10 until 4. And we're going to be located right in the vicinity across the way from where they have the beer garden, a little bit away from where the rides are going to be. So you're going to find us, trust me. Make one nice, could get to it. So I want to remind you that this morning, of course, we've spent talking, saluting, but we have a call. Let me take the call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Hi, good morning, Lone Ranger.
Yes, the mean at the house.
Yeah, good morning, Mose. Dean here.
Hi, Dean. What's going on?
I'm blessed, my brother. Mose, before I start, I just really think that I need to join the voices to recognize all those individuals who would have played instrumental role in the career of what is and hopefully what will be larger than life of the young man Langford. Now, not somebody that I'm personally acquainted with, but I do share some space of the sort at the NTUCB with one of his cousins, who's the Vice President of the Student Association in Belize, Sister Ashley. And so just want to join in congratulating all those individuals who have played a role in seeing this story unfold. No? And certainly it highlights most that if we put the right system in place to try to identify our elite kids and nurture them, that we could be producing the kind of millionaires, athletes that other countries are doing, you know, and it just makes me reflect a little bit on the current situation in Belize, whereby we have to be honest that we're not taking sports serious. We've heard, of course, the current Minister of Sports, upon taking office, would have said that where the use of the facilities, primarily the football fields, are concerned, that he would have ensured that all those football fields would have been connected to the main grid, considering the cost that grassroots teams had to incur to utilize the facilities, which have all been improved and for which we're very grateful for, even though I think in some cases we do not get value for money, and again, that is something that we have still not assessed as a country through the relevant authorities, where the Venezuela petrochemical money is concerned. But to date, I can tell you that that has not occurred, which shows that we're not serious about developing sport and making green spaces accessible to our at-risk youth. I can tell you here in Belmopan, we almost ran the risk of not even starting our first division tournament at the Sudoro Beaton because of the ridiculous charges that the Sports Council here was imposing on the Belmopan Football Association. And so our games started, actually, the second division started in the FFB, and later, I guess, for political, to face political phase, we ultimately moved over to the Isidora Beaton now, where an agreement was able to be struck. But again, we're not on the great we have to pay $150 to $200 depending on the length of usage for the field. And so it is difficult for small teams and for volunteers to really access this space, to be able to work with community kids, to be able to hopefully one day build the kind of success that we see with Douglas now. And so I just want to put it out there that the political rhetoric from these politicians must stop, and they have to do what they need to do and stop misleading the Belizean people. We've heard of the $1 tax for sports that have also died a natural death. And what we've seen, however, is the minister continuing to be at almost every single international sporting event that he's able to attend, and then he comes back and continues with the rhetoric, but there is no meaningful progress or meaningful action on his part or on the part of the cabinet to ensure that, in truth, our kids are being given the opportunity to play and to develop as they rightly should. And there's a whole lot to be desired where those millions of dollars that continue to flow through the Football Federation of Belize is concerned, and the lack of accountability and transparency to the National Sports Council to ensure that those funds are in fact earmarked for the football players and the community for which they're earmarked, and not necessarily for the executives in power. No, but so I'll end it there for sports mode. I don't know if you have any comments on that.
No, I heard you. You've been in our... We've been talking about you, sir, in case you don't know. Belize small, and I'm sure that even if you were not in tune, somebody don't hit you and say, yo, then people zinc the talk about you. Yeah, we've been talking about you better since you called on, I believe it was Tuesday morning.
Yes.
I thought you would have called back yesterday when we were having that conversation. But I'm glad you called, just that the timing this morning might not be adequate for us to get into it, but at least give us a kind of synopsis of your, if you've heard and what your thoughts are.
Yes, definitely, Mose, and thanks for the opportunity. And I would have mentioned on Tuesday about, actually, to understand it's a letter now, and one of your reporters was kind enough to share that letter with me for me to look at and to respond to, which I committed to doing so, and I want to apologize for not being able to call because I have Sister Sandra Masaya from Public Services International in country. She's been with us since Sunday, and she leaves Sunday, and so she's been doing some capacity building for the union, and so daily I am on the road. Today we have a day off, considering we were to meet with some agents from the local and regional governments. No? But quickly to the issue and the call made yesterday with reference to my call that was made Tuesday, highlighting the incompetences and the lack of productivity or reports, the lack of reports, meaningful reports coming out of the Office of the Auditor General. Now, Mose, I think if you look at the letter really speaks to us, that addresses the key issue that I raised, which is, since returning for 2 years, what report have you produced? What have you done over the 2 years that would have assisted in improving the governance structure? You know the high-risk ministries that we need to go into an audit. Have you done that? And while the letter would have spoken in paragraph 4, 4, that we have, in paragraph 5, whereby the letter stated that I would have stated that they have not accomplished anything in the past years. The officers who represent less than 80% of the staff there, that's another thing that I'll touch on, but they would have gone and said that we have been planning, conducting, and providing some recommendations to improve accountability, but they failed to detail any ministry, any department, any unit for which they would have done that for. And so I can say that I am an effective president, and I can say that I've done a whole lot. What does a whole lot mean? I need to clearly And Yaya challenged me, provide evidence of what I've done, and I'll be in the City tomorrow, and if Yaya would want to see those evidence, I have them here. I have all the vouchers here. I have all the petty cash payments that were made in accordance with, not in accordance with the regulations that governs how we spend money. So I can make time tomorrow to show her that.
Dean,
so let me just...
Dean, just because of time, I think we heard, and you know, I've had to kind of revisit the conversation we had to see if, because the one thing I will say, and I think I mentioned it yesterday, but before I get there, one of the points raised by Sister Katie, if I remember correctly, she mentioned that the public service regulations provides an opportunity through which, if the public service union under your leadership has specific issues to deal with, in this case the Office of the Auditor General, that is the required, that the statutes there put out or layout, and I'm not so familiar with it, but she was making the case based on the research that she had done, that this is the road that you should be taking, and why would you not be taking that road, and why create this situation where it seems more a personal situation because you have not taken that that road that is available, and that is the one that you should use in the event of any feeling that there is negligence, failure, and incompetence going on.
Okay. As it relates to the grievance mechanism that is embedded in the regulations, and we're dealing with two different things here. We're dealing with grievance, and we're dealing with the performance of the Office of the Auditor General. All right, it's two different things. Now, as it relates to the grievance, we have exhausted that process, and hence the reason I see the need to now make it public. For 7 years, Mose. For 7 years. And you mentioned it yesterday, that the relationship within the office, and I dare say 80% of the staff are aggrieved, in that 80% of them did not sign onto this letter which I believe was constructed by the deputy. 80% did not, sir. Are aggrieved. We've been crying out for these people under the past administration. It is now 7 years that the vindictiveness, the ostracizing...
And so let me ask this just again, since you're outlining what it is, are the contentions from the over the 7 years, that you would have the documents where folks have signed on to their complaints, because like I said, I mentioned yesterday that this is not something that is just coming out, that we've been hearing about a level of, you know, even with your predecessor, your previous president, laying out that there are some concerns coming out of the office. So I would have to assume, and understanding how a union works, is that your members would come and they have a complaint, and that complaint would have to be recorded, and they would have to sign on to it to substantiate it, to validate it, to say this is a legitimate concern. That's the way it works, right?
Yes, Mose. Yes. So internally they would try to exhaust internally they must exhaust the process. After they've exhausted the attempt to resolve it internally, they would then bring it to the union. The union will then make an attempt with the respective ministry and department, which is the Ministry of Finance and the office. Thereafter, we would go to the grievance committee, which is an official committee made up of the union and the government side and members from the...
So there is a paper trail for all those processes.
Yes, from 2017.
Okay.
I dare say to the Belizean public, they might say, well, how does this relate to them? This relates to you in that you currently are paying as taxpayers officers who have been ostracized in that office, who are literally placed in a corner and not given any work to do. And these are senior officers. I would say to the Belizean public, the bill now stands at $234,200 for the hazardous allowance, which continues to accrue for those officers. And so ultimately this has...
What is that? What is that? Repeat.
the hazardous allowance that is due for audit clerks. All right? In accordance with the regulations, in accordance with the compendium of allowances, allowances are paid for certain posts based on the risk. And so if you are a clerk, an audit officer that would have to go out, and of course some of the conditions under which they go audit in terms of would present a hazard, similar to somebody, a nurse, or anybody that would be exposed to hazardous substances or a hazardous environment. She had handpicked those who she will pay, and she has ostracized those who will not pay, which is not the purview of her. That is guided by the regulation and the compendium. This matter got so bad under the former administration that it was referred to the Joint Staff Relations Council, which is a constitutional committee. A constitutional committee identified in the Belize Constitution, Chapter 4. She defied that committee. We reported her for misconduct to the former Prime Minister, who said, well, he doesn't want to deal with the officer because of the immigration audit, and it would look as if he was coming after her because of the immigration audit, and so he did nothing. The new administration came in. There were many meetings by the current Minister of Public Service and the current CEO in the Ministry of Public Service to resolve this matter. She continued to defy their instructions.
Let me ask this.
This matter. Let me just complete this part here, Mose. This matter went before cabinet. This matter went before cabinet under the current administration. And the report, the last report we got, was that the cabinet secretary was to ensure that these people were paid what they ought to be paid. And it continued, the defiance continues. So that is the grievance. And in addition to that, is the matter of properly utilizing the human resources within that office, which is not being done. So we've exhausted the process, and so the only other avenue is to bring this matter to the Belizean public, because ultimately they will have to pay. Jump higher, don't you? It is the Belizean people that will have to pay because of the inefficiency and incompetency of this contract officer.
Let me ask this then. So one of the questions that was asked by both my colleagues in that conversation that we had was to kind of get a sense of, well, you know, and having been president of a union before, always had a consciousness that when you are speaking and you're speaking as the president of a body, that what you say has to be the position that has been determined and that is aligned with the consensus within that organization. So when you speak on this show, I don't unless it is you say to me specifically, especially if you're dealing with in this case a matter of the union. This has been a union matter. That you are speaking as the president of the Public Service Union, and that the position that you are articulating is supported by the union itself. That's the assumption that I have. That's the way we are going to have that conversation, is that you are representing this body and their position and their concern at this point in time.
Yes, that's a fact, Mose. So
that's a fact. So the PSU as a body and as a union stands behind the position that you have articulated. So it's not you, Dean Flowers, who has taken on a personal battle with the Office of the Auditor General.
Absolutely not. I have never had any grievance with it. Personal grievance, because I don't even work with the office, and the office has not visited my department in 15 years, and I work for the Geology and Petroleum Department, and there was a time when we generated millions upon millions for this country, and they have never. So I've only met once with the Auditor General through the NTUCB, so this is nothing personal, and I heard words yesterday being thrown around like personal vendetta, and I will not get into that most because I think that some people need to also inform themselves before they make those kind of allegations.
This is a conversation that I hope we can continue doing because I have a guest. We were looking forward to talk to you. The guest did not show. Well, you can call me back after the break then, Dean, because the guests apparently have not shown up. So I will have more time for us to engage on this.
All right, I'll do that, Mose, just to raise 2 more points.
But I have to take the break. I don't want to. So please call me back after.
All right, my brother, no problem.
All right.
Throughout its long-standing history, Atlantida Financial Group has been a symbol of financial strength, growth, and innovation in the region. Atlantida Financial Group is comprised of market leaders such as Atlantic Bank in Belize, Banco Atlantida in Honduras, as well as other companies in insurance, pension fund administration, financial leasing, brokerage services, among other sectors. Its strength and integrity has allowed the group to gain trust from its more than 4 million customers spread over 8 countries and has positioned it as one of the most complete and diverse entities in Latin America. Its leadership and financial strength are demonstrated by key indicators such as assets under management, which as of December 2023 stood at $21 billion and growing. The group boasts the largest pension fund administrator in Central America and the Caribbean. A workforce of more than 6,000 employees strive to serve its customers with excellence and professionalism, pushing the group forward in its mission to continuously provide high-quality financial solutions. Atlantic Bank, as a proud member of the Atlantida Financial Group for 53 years, is committed to this mission, to its depositors, collaborators, and the community that it serves. To this purpose, the bank has built the largest network of branches in the country and remains the only bank in Belize with first-rate international banking correspondence. Atlantida Financial Group, contributing to the economic development of Belize since 1971.
Where are your prescription? What are the best place we go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When the drugstore then close up the night and on Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City. We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show is coming. April 26th, 27th, and 28th are the big days for this year's show. April 26th is the official opening ceremonies when everything starts with a bang. April 27th and 28th are the big days when all the fun and excitement starts and includes something for every single Belizean. Plant and animal exhibits and shows, food from every corner of Belize, presentation of Farmers of the Year, representation from local and international companies, and organizations linked to Belizean agriculture, local artists, the rodeo, mechanical rides, dog show, bartending competition, horse racing, and this year's a special event, the raffling of a Ford Ranger pickup truck. Check out the Ministry of Agriculture website and social media pages for updates and official information. Let's make it to the 2024 Agric Show on April 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of tiles from around the world. Design Depot's tile gallery selection includes some of the latest styles in ceramic, porcelain, marble, natural stone, and glass tiles, transforming your indoor and outdoor tile projects. Designing your space has never been easier with our wide selection of high-quality tiles, expert staff, and world-class customer service. If you can envision it, we can help make it happen. Available at Design Depot, all in one place.
It's the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2024, Friday, April 26th, Saturday, April 27th, and Sunday, April 28th. Live coverage on Creme Radio and XTV. Committee of the National Agriculture and Trade Show, under the direction of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, brings you NATS 2024. This year's trade show will be held under the theme, Integrating Sustainable Food Systems, Mitigating Climate Change, Strengthening Agriculture Resilience. Get live coverage on Saturday, April 27th and Sunday, April 28th, starting at 10 a.m. on Creme Radio and XTV. Our live crew will bring the sights and sounds of the National Agriculture and Trade Show live from Belmopan. Check the XTV booth and pre-order your XTV merch. Simulcast coverage on XTV Belize, Facebook and YouTube pages. Creme Radio and XTV app, and XTV. It's all happening at the National Agriculture and Trade Show. Don't miss it.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May. Advertisers who take a package on Creme Radio and XTV in the months of April and May will enter our Advertiser Raffle and the chance to win another fabulous weekend getaway, which includes accommodations for two nights at Sereme Villas. Sereme Villas, making your home away from home in beautiful Kikoker at 445 Alameda Drive. Family friendly, perfectly tucked away with 24-hour service, featuring 7 villas, outdoor swimming pool, garden, restaurant and bar, and sun terrace. Call Sereme Villas at 501-610-6147. Winner of the Creme Advertiser Special also gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided by M's Hideaway Restaurant for the 2 days. M's Hideaway also does delivery in Kikoker. Transportation to Kikoker for this wonderful getaway provided by San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi. This prize package of over $1,500 can be yours if you advertise now. Contact our relationship officers at 280-4469. It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May.
Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Thursday morning, the 25th of April, 2024. Mose Hyde in the house, and we do have our phone line with access where you can call in. The number is 280-5848, and we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good morning, Mose. This is Sandra Coy. Can you turn on the... I'd just like to make a comment on young Mr. Langford's achievement. He is entering the collegiate basketball scene at a time when America's unionism is sweeping America. I don't know if you're aware that auto workers in the South actually succeeded in voting to unionize, something that the Southern elite political ruling class had sought to avoid for years. And in other areas, unionism is also emerging as a force, and one of them is in the area of sports in the college, university arena, and that's very significant because James Baldwin put it best in his article, his essay written many, many years ago, Language, Race, and the Black Writer. He said they wanted us first to work in the fields kind of thing. I don't exactly remember the exact wording, and now they want us for sports. So many black persons, and not only black, poor whites, people who don't have all the resources to go to university or to go to the universities that would give them a foot in the door. Sports has been the door through which they have been able to enter. But in reality, the working situation is one where they give you something, but you're not sure if, at the end of the day, you're not sure if what you got is equal to what you put into it. And so this move now to unionize, I think, is of significance. Have you been following it?
The unionizing with the auto workers in the South?
No, unionizing in for the college school.
I'm aware of the what they've been able to achieve with what they call the NIL, name, image, and likeness, and that a great number of athletes are now getting direct earnings off their name, image, and likeness. It was based on a victory achieved in the courts, really. I think it was a UCLA alumni, Bannon, who sued and the NC2A. And out of that, now, well, it has made things, so it's really turned.
It's not finalized, but it's opened the door.
Players, these student athletes, as they're called, are getting compensated, and some of them are making. It reached a point this year where there was one player saying, "I would go for a fifth year at college now because I believe I will make more money here than if I move on to the pros," and so that's where it reached, yeah?
And what is the significance, Moses, that a child who entered that university strictly on scholarship with no resources of their own, their families don't have the resources at all, can exit with some investment capital at their disposal.
Yes.
You see?
And in fact, what happened this week, I believe it happened this week, is that the NC2A had to return the Heisman Trophy to a player who had won it, and they then found out that the player's family had received benefits because they were really poor. They had received benefits like a home or something like that, and while he was an outstanding athlete, and he had won this prestigious award, they had taken it away from him because of what has happened. Because of what has happened now, they have what has been the popular opinion is that there was hypocrisy in this, and so now they have actually returned the trophy to him.
Exactly.
So, in the light though, I'm trying to understand, because I know that this has been a thing that you have spoken about very often about, and that you have been very instrumental in getting students into the best available university opportunities.
Yeah.
And I imagine, there must be something good that, this young man through. You can't get a scholarship to Yale. Yeah, you can't get a scholarship to Yale just because you're good at basketball. He has to have been performing academically as well.
Oh yeah, and I'm saying that you get benefits, but the argument has always been, at least if you really study the situation totally, well, was the benefit equal to what you put in? And these athletes have to put in a whole lot, you see. Sometimes even their academic program can become endangered if they have to, from the sports aspect. However, if you're earning, for example, and you have entered university and you need some extra tutoring and the scholarship didn't cover that, let's say in languages, or in mathematics, also you can now pay for those things, the extras that you may need.
Yeah, because
but most importantly, you will exit university with an investment capital, so that you're not obliged now to turn back to sports if that was an area that you did it in order to get your education, but you weren't planning to make it your life's work, So this gives a wonderful opportunity to the children. In other words, it becomes a partnership. It wasn't a partnership before.
It was playing on.
Because I've had many friends who have played collegiate sports and it's very demanding. And the compensation, yes, it's in scholarships to Ivy League universities or so, but at the end of the day, not all of them emerge shining at the end of their lives, I had a student once out of the UK. He got a scholarship to one of the top grammar schools, which is the equivalent of one of the top high schools in the United Kingdom, a private high school. And he was a sports lover. And that is what got him into the school. But in the end, it is what got him out of the school too. Because he wasn't too interested in the academic angle, and was busy, devoted to the sports. And then when he couldn't perform either one well, and then it was affecting the other, they put him out, And so he ended up in business and ended up successfully. Ended up a successful business person in his lifetime, but he had to pay a high price for it, like 2 hours, 3 hours sleep at night, and doing university while working and all that sort of thing. And it took a toll on him physically. So I'm really, and knows what is important for Douglas and all the other young people is to learn money management, so that they don't make the mistakes that happen to young blacks entering the arts, the singers and the actors and so, who are just taking terrible advantage of because they didn't understand money and its organization and management. So I'm hoping that will be significant and in his life and in the other young people's lives, who will have a chance not to take advantage of something that their forebears didn't have access to. Don't you see it that way?
Yeah, I think you make excellent points, and it's not only actors and the singers who have made terrible. Yeah, so the athletes are notorious for going bankrupt.
Exactly so.
So that's one of the.
Yes, and so you want them to learn. You want them to be able to move. When you have never had something and money you have never had, you don't really know how to use it, and you need to have help, and you need to have a proper understanding in order to be able to manage it, so you have it into the future. It won't be a one-night stand kind of thing, money come in and it's gone through your pocket. So by the following day you have nothing left. So I'm really happy that it's coming at this time. And then that becomes a greater inspiration for other young persons who want to use that avenue to get their education and get their life together and, you know, get on to the world stage sort of thing. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. We go to a break. We'll be back.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn B-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate Homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Belizeans all around planet Earth, this is a roll call for all Belizeans living abroad. In a world that is becoming more uncertain and unstable, children and descendants of the Belizean soil must find common ground and align. Mark the date and make your plans. June 19th to June 22nd, 2024 at the Marriott Airport Hotel, Los Angeles, California. It's the historic first ever Belize Diaspora Summit. This summit will feature panel discussions featuring leading diaspora leaders and achievers. The Belize America Chamber of Commerce will host its annual business forum. There is a special delegation from the Ministry of Natural Resources to facilitate land queries for those in the diaspora, and a grand gala event to cap the Belize Diaspora Summit 2024. For registration and for more details, email info@BelizeDiasporaSummit.com or BIF 2024 California.eventbrite.com.
Throughout its long-standing history, Atlantida Financial Group has been a symbol of financial strength, growth, and innovation in the region. Atlantida Financial Group is comprised of market leaders such as Atlantic Bank in Belize, Banco Atlantida in Honduras, as well as other companies in insurance, pension fund administration, financial leasing, brokerage services, among other sectors. Its strength and integrity has allowed the group to gain trust from its more than 4 million customers spread over 8 countries and has positioned it as one of the most complete and diverse entities in Latin America. Its leadership and financial strength are demonstrated by key indicators such as assets under management, which as of December 2023 stood at $21 billion and growing. The group boasts the largest pension fund administrator in Central America and the Caribbean. A workforce of more than 6,000 employees strive to serve its customers with excellence and professionalism, pushing the group forward in its mission to continuously provide high-quality financial solutions. Atlantic Bank, as a proud member of the Atlantida Financial Group for 53 years, is committed to this mission, to its depositors, collaborators, and the community that it serves. To this purpose, the bank has built the largest network of branches in the country and remains the only bank in Belize with first-rate international banking correspondence. Atlantida Financial Group, contributing to the economic development of Belize since 1971.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show is coming. April 26th, 27th, and 28th are the big days for this year's show. April 26th is the official opening ceremonies when everything starts with a bang. April 27 and 28 are the big days when all the fun and excitement starts and includes something for every single Belizean. Plant and animal exhibits and shows, food from every corner of Belize, presentation of Farmers of the Year, representation from local and international companies, and organizations linked to Belizean agriculture, local artists, the rodeo, mechanical rides, dog show, bartending competition, horse racing, and this year's a special event, the raffling of a Ford Ranger pickup truck. Check out the Ministry of Agriculture website and social media pages for updates and official information. Let's make it to the 2024 Agric Show on April 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May. Advertisers who take a package on Creme Radio and XTV in the months of April and May will enter our advertiser raffle and the chance to win another fabulous weekend getaway, which includes accommodations for two nights at Sereme Villas. Sereme Villas, making your home away from home in beautiful Kikoker at 445 Alameda Drive. Family friendly, perfectly tucked away with 24-hour service, featuring 7 villas, outdoor swimming pool, garden, restaurant and bar, and sun terrace. Call Sereme Villas at 501-610-6147. Winner of the Creme Advertiser Special also gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided by M's Hideaway Restaurant for the 2 days. M's Hideaway also does delivery in Kikoker. Transportation to Kikoker for this wonderful getaway provided by San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi. This prize package of over $1,500 can be yours if you advertise now. Contact our relationship officers at 280-4469. It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May.
All right, welcome back. Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Thursday morning. One man army style, if I can borrow that term from the great Mr. Frisco. Without Nuri David Katie, it's been the Mose Hyde solo act since 6:30 this morning. But we've had your participation, for which we are very thankful. And we've covered multiple topics, some bright, some delightful, some not so like that, some that are very difficult and unpleasant, but that's the way it goes. We do the full spectrum. We don't have a lot of time remaining. We do have our line open at 280-5848. This week we've had a conversation going on where the president of the Public Service Union, Dean Flowers, called in and essentially disparagingly spoke of the Auditor General and the Auditor General's office's performance under her leadership, and voiced various concerns, and that has become a kind of a subtopic throughout the week, but since Tuesday at least, Tuesday and yesterday and today. We went into it a bit. We had our greatly respected colleague and Sister Yaya give very strong opinions on the opinions that were given by Dean, and then we had Dean call back this morning to speak on some of the concerns and issues that we have with what he has said about the Auditor General and the Office of the Auditor General. We were to get him back, but I think he might have not been able to get in. Hopefully sometime later, if not tomorrow, early next week, we can get in on that conversation. We also spoke a bit about the nastiness that has started, you would say that's become a part of what this whole meltdown over the State Bank project as it's presently unfolding. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Yes, Mose. Me again, just to wrap up this conversation now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I want to, when I speak of the incompetence of the current Auditor General, who we vehemently objected to her renewal, to her being brought back, and that was on the basis that we did not feel that she had performed her duties as was mandated by both the Constitution and the Finance and Audit Reform Act. In addition to that, it is a known fact that even where the special audit reports are concerned, and I would have spoken to the good immigration work that was done by the officers in that department, but in her zeal and lack of understanding for the process, she would have botched that audit and nobody was held accountable for the wrongs that were done there. Now, that is just one department that was touched, that was needed to touch. And we keep saying that throughout her tenure, outside of the William and the Sports Council audit, there were no other damning audits that came out that held people accountable. And she was brought back because she failed to properly ensure that there was succession planning in her department, and perhaps deliberately so. She was brought back. The Prime Minister said that he would have brought her back for 1 year to ensure that a proper successor is identified or somebody from the outside is identified, and I'm all for that. It's 2 years now. There has not been any meaningful reports that have been tabled, and why do I say tabled or produced? Because while the excuse is being used that the 13, 14, and 15 audits are and have been at the office of the Prime Minister for years, because the allegations were that even under the former Prime Minister, they've been there and were not laid before the House. But I want to share with the Belizean people that that is no excuse for her not presenting those audits to the National Assembly, because The Constitution is clear. And I will read from section 120 of the Constitution. It states that, let me go to the section that speaks to it. It says that if the minister fails, and this is the Prime Minister, fails to lay the report before the House in accordance with the provisions of Section 4, and Section 4 gives him 7 days after the first House meeting, or whenever it is presented at the next House meeting, he's supposed to lay before the House, and thereafter to the, that's the National Assembly, and thereafter to the Senate. It says that if the minister fails to lay the report in accordance with Section 4, the clerk and the National Assembly shall forthwith inform the Auditor General, who shall promptly transmit copies of that report directly to the clerk, and the clerk shall, as soon as practical, lay the report on the table of the House. So there is no reason why these reports have not been laid before the House. She will also say that she has special reports that she's conducted, but why haven't those reports been laid before the House in accordance with Section 5?
But you do concede that the political directorate does its very best and has been doing its very best for a very long time to frustrate this very process. And you might be quoting the Constitution, but still, you imagine a clerk going against the Prime Minister to put it has not happened. I think you are to some extent not identifying that the failure of these reports over a very long period of time. In fact, I think as has been documented since independence, it's really been because leadership has been reluctant and they have frustrated the process to a great extent.
You're perfectly in order when you make that statement, Mose. But if it is that we need to now point to the clerk of the National Assembly for neglect and failure to do his duty, then let's do that. But let's stop finding excuses why these reports have not been laid. And as it relates to the outstanding reports, which would be from 2016 to 2023 now, thanks to these officers who would have written this letter, which again, I really don't know if there's anything in there that I need to respond to, because there is nothing that needs responding to in there. Other officers would have said the current Accountant General would have already, in assistance, with the assistance of the special consultant that was paid for by the Ministry of Finance, would have already produced audited financial statements for, financial statements, not audited, but financial statements for 5 years, from 2016 to 2020. And the FARA gives the Auditor General 90 days per year, of course, to review and audit those books. It didn't say to her, she needs to give an opinion on those statements. She failed to do that, and this can be ascertained with the powers that be. Because, as I said, the Belizean people, again, paid for a special consultant to catch up, and Senator Herrera and the JPAC needs to look into this. She once again has failed to give an opinion on those reports. Now, whether she wants those, it is not for her to determine how she wants those reports. The law says she's supposed to give an opinion on the reports. She has sent back those reports to the Accountant General, requesting and demanding that it be in a certain format. And so this delayed practice for the Belizean people to understand and to see and to know how their money is being spent has nothing to do a whole lot, in my humble opinion, with the stalling by politicians. But it speaks really, in my opinion, to the incompetency of the Auditor General, and I speak now as a citizen of this country. I have a right to know how the money is being spent and ensure that it is being spent correctly, and she is failing. And her history as Auditor General speaks to that.
All right. Dean, I'm out of time, so we'll have to take this up. Hopefully you're able to, we have to really have a full-out conversation, and maybe we need to get you in studios.
How do you start for tomorrow? Because I have to be in
But
Belize City
tomorrow I am not on, but I can see with the host if they are able to accommodate. I will have to check and see what the schedule is.
I'd be more than happy to come in tomorrow, Mose, since I have a meeting at 9 in Belize City, so I'll be available from 7 to 9. And I can then go through the issues that were confronted with the incompetency of the Office of the Auditor General and the reason why no further contract should be given to her and a suitable candidate identified.
All right, sir. We go to a final break. We come back and wrap up.
Where are your prescription? What are the best place to go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When the drugstore then close up the night and on Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City.
We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
When Daba does reggae, it's 5 stars. When Daba does artistry,
Advertiser Raffle and the chance to win another fabulous weekend getaway, which includes accommodations for two nights at Sereme Villas. Sereme Villas, making your home away from home in beautiful Kikoker at 445 Alameda Drive. Family friendly, perfectly tucked away with 24-hour service, featuring 7 villas, outdoor swimming pool, garden, restaurant and bar, and sun terrace. Call Sereme Villas at 501-610-6147. Winner of the Creme Advertiser Special also gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided by M's Hideaway Restaurant for the 2 days. M's Hideaway also does delivery in Kikoker. Transportation to Kikoker for this wonderful getaway provided by San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi. This prize package of over $1,500 can be yours if you advertise now. Contact our relationship officers at 280-4469. It's another Creme Advertiser Special for the months of April and May.